worry about the weather, waiting for snow. And each day I feel better, and my hope begins to grow. Been staring out my window, looking for a sign, something to remind me of the place I left behind. My time of the year. There's a feeling I remember from the time when I was young. On the last days of December, me and you and everyone, we would run around the big house where your cousins used to live. And we'd do lots of things I know our folks would not forgive. My time of the year. I know it's a lot to ask for a day to forever last. I could wash my hands, but still would relive my past. My time of the year. My time of the year. It's Christmas Eve, and I've still got nothing for you. I'm out on a last minute spree, hoping to find that something that makes you see that I love you.
I've been out running all day, nothing catches my eye. What do you get for someone who has it all? I've been to every corner of this godforsaken mall. What in the world would be that something that made you see that I love you?
All I've got to give for Christmas is this. your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss, your Christmas.
It's something no one else is getting.
It's something you won't be soon forgetting. It's something we can share and take with us anywhere. All I've got to give for Christmas is this, a Christmas kiss. So close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss. All I've got for Christmas is this, a Christmas kiss. So close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss, your Christmas kiss, Christmas kiss.
It was the night before Christmas. I was closing down for business in my little prison shop, when the bell on the door jingled once more, and then time almost came to a stop. But somehow I knew, and maybe so did you, that everything would change from now on. Yes, from this Christmas on, this Christmas on, from this Christmas on,
Come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exultation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God in the highest. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Oh, word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him. Come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
worry about the weather, waiting for snow. And each day I feel better, and my hope begins to grow. Been staring out my window, looking for a sign, something to remind me of the place I left behind. My time of the year. There's a feeling I remember from the time when I was young. On the last days of December, me and you and everyone, we would run around the big house where your cousins used to live. And we do lots of things I know our folks would not forgive. My time of the year. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask for a day to forever last. I could wash my hands, but still would relive my past. My time of the year. My time of the year. It's Christmas Eve, and I've still got nothing for you. I'm out on a last minute spree, hoping to find that something that makes you see that I love you.
I've been out running all day, nothing catches my eye. What do you get for someone who has it all? I've been to every corner of this godforsaken mall. What in the world would be that something that made you see that I love you?
All I've got to give for Christmas is this. your Christmas kiss. Your Christmas
It's something no one else is getting.
It's something you won't be soon forgetting. It's something we can share and take with us anywhere. All I've got to give for Christmas is this, a Christmas kiss. So close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss. All I've got for Christmas is this, a Christmas kiss. So close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause he